I'm delighted to be here tonight, and welcome to the United Nations Foundation, United Nations Association of the USA Golden Global Leadership Dinner. It's been made clear that I've been a loyal friend of the United Nations and the United Nations Association, and it made me think that it's true. I have been and continue to be. I can't help but remember and tell you the story that back in my high school days, I was in my senior year at high school, I was appointed as a delegate from my high school to a conference that Eleanor Roosevelt held. She was then the first chairman of the United Nations Association. The year was 1939, so my association with UNA goes back a long way. I've been toying with the arithmetic, and I'm not quite sure of how many years, but it's something over 70 years that I've been involved with the UN, and it's still going on. For those of you who are former UNA USA members in the UNA as it used to be, it's great to see you again. And those who are attending for the first time that are prospective members of the new UNA, thank you for becoming part of this annual tradition. And thank you, Ted Turner, for your extraordinary leadership. I was present and acting as chairman of the dinner in which Ted made his famous announcement. And I remember stories, some of which I won't tell, about what Ted told me before he made the formal announcement. But the audience thought he said millions and gave mild clapping, and he said billions, and they stopped in astonishment for a minute and then rose all together in wild applause. It was really unusual. Nobody's given anything like $1 billion to any nonprofit organization before or since. Ted still holds the world's record, and I think it'll last for a long time to come. Thank Ted. We're here because of your vision and your dedication to the idea that everyone should be able to help the United Nations. And I welcome members of the UN Foundation Board who are meeting with UN officials this week. And somebody has already mentioned their names, so I won't do it a second time. When I was Deputy Secretary of State, I saw how important it was for the administration to see and understand that Americans support the UN. That is at least as true today as it was in the 1980s. Americans, by our nature, want to see our country in a strong leadership role in the international arena, and we are here to help the world succeed. Every year, the UN Foundation and UNA USA honor a UN official who embodies the UN of the 21st century, someone within the UN who demonstrates how the UN delivers at scale. Tonight, we honor Susana Malcorra, United Nations Under-Secretary General for the Department of Field Support. Her department ensures UN field operations can run smoothly, even in the most challenging of work environments. Under her leadership, the UN is well positioned to continue into the 21st century, one of the earliest and most important missions, peacekeeping operations, in the world's most challenging hotspots. Seems to me a little strange that we say that she's in charge of UN field operations when she's really in charge of UN peacekeeping. What's wrong with peacekeeping? Isn't that why we have the UN? And field operations is sort of a dull title to give her, even in spite of the importance of her job. When Secretary General Bond created the Department of Field Support, and you should have, Mr. Secretary, considered a possible alternative name, he tapped Susana as the leader to take on the challenge of a major new department designed to support peacekeeping and special political missions around the world, often in the most remote areas. She brought to this challenge a background that combined UN experience with business know-how. She was Chief Operating Officer and Deputy Executive Director of the World Food Program, overseeing operations in more than 80 countries with over 10,000 personnel. When she started at WFP, Susana brought with her 25 years of experience in the private sector, including top roles at IBM and Telecom Argentina.